All right, video number 20. We're rolling along real nice now. Let's just jump right into it. I'm probably going to, unless I have a lot to say, I'm going to try to shorten up these videos. We've gone through a lot. I mean, fuck, we're probably at like 13 or 14 hours deep already. Yeah. So, point number 20. Semantic deceit is the number one weapon used against you at all times. Learning the definition of words and owning a Blacklaw's dictionary, usually the 4th or 5th editions, is how you learn to play the game. We've already gone over that. I've beaten that pretty heavily. Once you learn to play the game, it is literally impossible to lose. I'm not kidding. You become a king of the land. Now, there actually, not shockingly, there is something I want to say about this. The people behind the curtain and the people who are structuring all of law and using it and putting it all together, they want people to trust and believe in the law. The law is the structure behind everything. So they don't want people to stop trusting the law or trusting the statutes or all of this kind of thing. The law and the controlling of the law and the morphing of the law is the one thing that allows them to have control. So you think to yourself, oh, well, like, what's stopping any of these people from just doing whatever they want because they run the show and this and that? No. The people who run the show, they do not want the basic structure of law to be broken. They do not want people to lose their belief and trust and love and care for the law. Like, for example, a lot of people are get really emotional about the idea of no one's above the law. No one's above the law. You know, you say that to somebody and it's like, oh yeah, totally. Like where I'm from in Indiana, no one's above the law, right? Yes, that means common law. That means the 3 fucking rules of don't hurt nobody, don't steal their shit or damage their property, and be transparent in your contracts and don't fuck people over in your contracts. When you hear those that phrase, no one is above the law, that's what that phrase actually is referring to, not statutes or Title 26, which doesn't even have an enactment clause. That's not what that's talking about. It's talking about common law, okay? So do keep in mind, semantic deceit, looking up every single little word, every single little phrase. What do they mean here? What do they mean there? They're very, very careful about the way that they define things. They're very, very careful about which definitions they use, which words they use, etc. So if you're careful about how you read and interpret them, and you put the brakes on constantly and say, whoa, wait a second, I'm not following this. You need to clear this up. What's happening is that you're never accidentally contracting with anybody. You're not saying, oh yeah, totally, or oh yeah, sure, or no problem, or any of those things. You are becoming defensive enough to be able to not get involved in contracts that you don't want to be involved in, and that is very, very much the key to your success and the people who are loved ones around you, right? So the definitions of words in the world of law should always be suspect. Really everywhere they should be suspect, but in the world of law, they should always be suspect. Simple everyday words should be checked, checked, checked. Every single comma, every single space, every single semicolon should be suspect and carefully inspected. If you assume there are traps everywhere, you will be successful in law and will become invincible. Like, for example, Bank of America papers to sign when opening an account. I don't know if you're going to be able to get this, but I'm sure if you try to open an account online, maybe they will I don't know where the terms and conditions are. But anyways, if you look at the terms and conditions, it's going to say, oh, I didn't have you shared. I wasn't doing anything important. I was just looking around for, on the Bank of America site for a, like, terms and conditions kind of a thing. Terms and conditions to open a bank account. Like when I open my bank account, they say the word U.S. person. Are you a U.S. person? Blah, blah, blah. And then it gets complicated because if you say you're not a U.S. person, there is no, like, de jure state citizen choice. You have to choose a different country. So that's basically what I did, or what I'm going to do. At the time I didn't do it, but I'm going to do it now. Interesting. I'm sure. What is this? Yeah, this is just some kind of like tiny bank. It seems to be a lot less deadly than a lot of the bigger ones that I've seen. Anyways, you'll see the term U.S. person, and you'll see all this, and you'll see all that, and it's just like you want to make sure that there's nothing that's really at least glaring. You want to at least look it over and make sure it's not like glaring in your face. And looking at terms and conditions and stuff like that on apps or like social media and stuff like that, that's not really going to be something that you're going to want to look at because it's like 9 trillion pages. But something like a bank account or a lease or these things, if it's like you're buying a house, it's like, okay, if it's 60 pages for your mortgage and for all these different things, you should look it over. I mean, it's not like you have to do it every year. You just have to do it once. That's the whole plan, right? So, like, for example, the lease, when I got this place, I read the whole lease front to back. It was maybe 35 pages. It took me, I don't know, 3 or 4 hours. Cleaned up every single little thing. There were some errors in it. I cleaned those up. I made some marks and notations on it. They had requested that I sign the lease online. By signing the lease online, it only let me type in my name. So I did request to sign the lease by hand. They did figure it out. They were like confused as to how to even do all that. They did print it off for me, and I did sign it without prejudice with the human signature, beneficiary. She wasn't sure if they were going to accept it signed that way. They looked it over and decided to accept it the way that I had signed it. So I personally think that's the way you should do a lot of your large transactions. Social media and some of these apps, you download an app like the Etymology Explorer and it's got 450 terms and conditions pages. It's like, okay, like I get it, just keep in mind, you don't really know what you're getting into really. So that's my tip on that. And assuming that strange definitions that you aren't aware of are being used will allow you to become one of the greatest lawyers on earth. So really, every single person that is every single man and woman. Let's get real specific. Every single man and woman that is going through this course. By the end of this course, you're going to be substantially more powerful and substantially more trained than basically any accountant or lawyer that you're probably going to find anywhere. So I know that sounds kind of strange and fascinating, but you're becoming like pretty fucking powerful from this. And that's kind of like the whole point. So yeah. That's pretty much all I want to go over on video number 20. I may start making some shorter videos after this because we still have quite a few to go. We'll see what happens, but let's just keep this one short. That's video number 20, and I'll see you guys on video number 21. Bye-bye.